guys coming in the corner like this. First of all, they're not real good on the front brake, because if they were, they'd be on the front brake and they'd be up like this and they'd jackknife. If a guy's good on the front brake, he has to ride like this. First of all, you're one piece with the bike. You don't have to hold on tight here. If anybody's arms are pumping up, you hang on too tight here, you don't hang on tight enough here. If you're good on the front brake, which today is difficult on this track to really prove it, because it's so slippery, you're not using the brake that much. But if the traction was good, and coming down into that mud I would, or that far corner over there, I'd feel myself wanting to go forward. You come on down in the corner, you're getting on the brakes real hard, you're going to want to go like this. You don't want to go up like that until you're ready to turn. You want your butt back here for two reasons: for traction, basically for traction, and keep the bike going over like this. If it ever starts bouncing and going up like this, you don't want to be up like this. The bike wants to swap. If you use the brake so hard and you allow yourself to be loose and allow yourself to get up here, when you go to turn, you're going to jackknife. So my philosophy is, this would be 1, this would be 2, 3, 4, and 5. The first one I'd say is standing up all the time if you can. And motocross, that's where it doesn't work for you guys. In those little turns, I'd say I wouldn't stand up. Even if they were rough, they'd have to be poles that big before I'd stand up in a straightaway that. So it contradicts my theory. Anytime it's rough, I stand up immediately. The fifth thing would be watching where I was going. And that would be next obstacle. Which, if I was coming out of this corner, I would look through the obstacle. I mean, next obstacle meaning rocks, holes, jumps, corner, or motorcycle laying in the straightaway, anything. But I just look through them. I don't just stare at them. What I'm doing is looking for the next turn or next big obstacle. If I looked out of the corner, as soon as I'm on the gas, I'm looking out of the corner. I scan the whole straightaway, but the next point I want to focus on is where I'm going to start my next turn. Okay, unless there's a double jump, then I'm looking at the jump. If there was a big giant ditch, I'm going to look at that ditch a little longer. But basically, I'm looking down to where I'm going to start my turn. It doesn't matter right or wrong line, wherever I'm going to start the turn. If I see that white thing down there, if I was going to start my turn there, because that's where I'm going to brake to, obviously. So that's where I'm going to get my distance. I mean, we don't immediately looking at the next spot I'm going to turn. Okay? And on a big track, I may be looking, 10 times as far away as that tree. On a big track, say for Unadilla, I come over the top of the hill, I look down at all the ruts, and now I'm looking way up there. Okay, I'm going to see where I'm going to start to turn. I'll look back at the ruts if they're bad. And now I'm looking way out there. I mean, I see what's in here, but I never stare at it. Not unless it's an obstacle, like I say, one of those 4 big things. Okay? The looking always works over here. The stand up knees tight in those little areas, you guys could use the worst style available and go just every bit as fast as you do there, and it comes back to throttle control over there. Webb was saying he wastes too much time going for the good line here, going wide here, coming out, going over to this side where you can square it off over here. I wouldn't do it when it's that slippery. I'd just stay right in where everybody else is, and wherever I could find the best traction, I'd just ride it. It's too short to make any difference. Where you'd want to take the good line in the corner, maybe lose a little time, is when you have a long straightaway afterwards. Because that's where you're going to make all your time. You don't want to come out into that long straightaway right around the pole and you're going, and then you got a long straightaway to make time. If some guy does that and you lose a little time.
When he's saying wheeling, he doesn't mean wheelie all the way around the track. He just thinks like the perfect rider should be able to wheelie 6 inches off the ground all the way around the track because the weight shifted and the back of the bike and you're getting traction.
If you were the perfect rider, if there was one, I can't do it. I'd say almost always you'd be 2-inch wheelie all the time till you shut off, brake, you turn, immediately you'd be back to 2-inch wheelie. Miles straight away or anything, that's when the bike works good and that's when you get the best traction. It's hard to do, especially here. If this was dried out, you'd probably, I saw Summers come by here on that 600 and it was spinning and he just bumped it back and got it on a wheelie, and that's the way I like to ride it. And most of you guys do that anyway, but that'd be the perfect. Because the odds are you're going down. If I had a big berm here now, and I know the speed's 5 and I'm at 7, I said, I can do it at 7. I can't do this at 7. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So any corner I'm coming into, if I've not got the speed down, I don't try to push it. I bring that speed down. Now what's an advanced situation, you got to have a berm to do it. This won't work in here. If I had a berm, I'd come in here, I'm too fast, I'd let off the brake, sit back, sit it down, get in the berm, and I'd be back on the front brake to get it slowed down. Okay, I can't do that right here. Down there I can, is where Charlie was going inside. It'd be my advantage to go out to that berm because I can go in too hot and I know it. And I'll use that berm. Okay, so when I have a berm that you can cheat on, basically. But to get to the inside here, I do, the less of this time that you're just coasting around here, the better. Whoever coasts the least amount of time wins. Everybody coasts. And the slipperier it is, the longer we coast, and you coast this long and I coast this long. If I come in here wide open, brake, leave it on the longest, brake the most efficient, hard way, back on the gas, don't lose any time. If I come in here, no front brake, the guy comes in here, no front brake, he just broke off, he comes in, he has to shut off here. Now he's coasting. Well, when he's coasting, I'm going to run it in here, stop, go. That's where this is all. I very seldom make any passes coming out of the corner because I use whoever's coming in here as a judge. If we're going out of this corner and Charlie and I both come right to here, and he's on the throttle right here, well, I've already basically blown it. If we're coming down this straightaway and Charlie's right next to me, unless it's Rick Johnson or some top 10 guy, I usually say, I can just out brake him. So I just sit right here next to him. So if he shuts off, I brake hard, it's fine. I use him as a judge. It's safe. I don't have to mix it up with him there. I just come in here, stop. He's stuck. What's he gonna do? Go here. Or for example, he's riding in here and I want that outside line. He's riding in here and you say you want the European line. I'll pass him here. I'll pass him here, stop out here, let him go here, already turned, and the best you can time is right here. That's safe. I don't want to mix it up with them going out of here. Both come in here and try to beat him to the draw. I want to make time here because it's that safe area. You're up like this, braking, straight up and down, safe. When you're in here, you're not safe. 1/10 of a second right here. Now, if that right there, that track was wide and it turned uphill and it was 150 yards long, I'd lose some time right here. Okay. I'd take the time right here. But it's not. I just come in here the same speed as everybody else and take it. Because I'm liable to screw up, we're bigger here. Right. It's harder to get over there. Right. And you're going to lose time. But there's nowhere to gain it back.
Yeah. Well, Oklahoma had some good tests where it was like some speed, where it took the time to do that. Outside, inside was good. But then I kept trying to, I outboxed myself when it started getting tight. I kept trying to do that, and I'd lose more time just screwing around out there. And I think technically you're right. We need to just get in there and just work it.
Unless this berm gets so bad, I think. If it got so chunked out, then I'd do it, and I'd just go right over to the inside.
On this next corner, bus? Such a sweeper, we can be up on the bike with your leg out, or would you try to flat track his both feet on the pegs?
No, I'd probably have my leg out. It depends how tacky it got, because I'm the same line. You're going to run the same line, I'm going to run the same line. You won't learn this. This track is difficult.
Yeah. Well, this is the stuff that we have to go over there, and we'll be like this on the side of a hill.
Right. It's hard for everybody. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, and for that squaring it off, take a clutch lever off for a day, and you have to ride like a European. Okay? You have to gear down, make sure you're in the right gear and go,
Right. Yeah, because I think I get the tendency to just use the clutch and rear brake it.
I know that thing. Taking the clutch lever off works on mini bike riders. They go faster, because we've done it. And I don't know, taking his clutch off would do any good, or taking your clutch off.
Slit his wrists.
I use mine, but I tend to use mine once a corner. And even on a 125, you know, I'll keep it in the meat of the power. I like to run it just below the power band, you know, where it's really not making any power. So when I first turn it on, I really don't need any power yet. if I'm riding right, I don't need any power yet, so I turn it on, it goes, brrr, it's just not making any power. And then let's get over here. When I got the wheel set and I need power, then I just one time. Okay? Where Johnny will just run it, and he turns it on, he has the front brake on, he turns it wide open, he uses the clutch for his power, which is difficult. Mini bike guys okay, you probably learned it on a mini bike, huh? That's where the 80 riders do that, you know, and they'll use that, and all their traction's right here. They're hooking up everything right here, which is terribly tiring.
Yeah, it is. I don't have the energy to spend doing that.
We're talking, you know, when we do this, we're one lap.
Yeah.
That's all you got to go.
Right.
One lap, as fast as you can.
No way to change your habit. I wouldn't change your habit. If you tried to ride like me, it'd be...
I do the same thing you do, but I do it with the throttle. I'm feeling the wheel.
Right.
If it's spinning, then I give it less. If it's not spinning, I give it more. So it's real efficient.
I pull the clutch. If I'm starting to spin,
you pull the clutch.
Pull the clutch.
It's a different style, and for you to teach him, no way. Yeah. Different style. Some guys are better at. Johnny O makes it work. You fly on a 125 when he was. Even right now, if he would want in the 125, he's as fast as anybody in the world. Put him in the 125 nationals right now, and those guys can't ride like him. So he uses that style, so it's not bad. It's just different, and it does take more energy. I like to ride this corner like you ride a 4-stroke here, and I force myself because I'm too jittery.
I think everybody does. I think it's something that you can practice on, and then maybe when you get into the test, you use some of your old habits, and then hopefully some of your new ones.
You can be wilder on that clutch. Now, how do you've got to be smoother over there in that slippery little wet 180s, huh? Are you?
I come into it,
pull the clutch in, turn it around the brake,
and just use the clutch out, use the clutch to get.
That's how.
Are you using the clutch?
That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Same reason, same thing you do. Except over here, I try to use just the transmission and the throttle. But I use the same. Oh, we all have to use that over there, I think. And I'd use it here. If there was somebody coming through here, right here, and I was going to come into that line and I was going to have to chop them off in that berm, I'd use your assist. Pull the clutch, hit the brake, slide in, and let the clutch out. Okay? But if I was riding by myself, nobody in here, I try to be smoother, stick the wheels. When I shut off, I'm sticking the front wheel. When I get back on it, okay, I'm starting to think about the back wheel. Then I'm just thinking like he is. He says if he's spinning, if I'm spinning, I try not to spin it. But if I'm spinning, I move back. If I move back, it's still spinning, I shut off or pull up. Make it get traction is the key. If you're sitting back, pulling up, it's still not getting traction, you might as well shut it off. You're wasting gasoline. Because it's just going to spin, and when it spins, it's...
So you're using your body just like Scott's using the throttle, and I'm pulling the clutch when that happens. It's like
when it starts to spin, you're going...
yeah.
Okay, scoot your butt back.
Right.
If your butt's already back, pull up. If it's still in this stuff, if you pull up, it's going to get traction. If it's real slippery and you scoot back, it's not doing it. You pull up, it's not doing it. Shut off.
Right.
And you'll go fast. It's the same as a sprint car.
Right.
Drive a sprint car, you come out of the corner, you come on the straightaway, you got it floored and it's spinning. Let off the throttle and accelerate. Starts to hook up, then come back in it. Get off, let it hook up, and then come back, and then just feed it back in. Don't go like this. Feed it back in, and it just hooks up and goes. In the car, you can feel it. That's the same key here, where Bale never.
Right. Yeah, I've watched him at Hondaland. It's the same thing. I mean, he was riding 12 tires on cement, and he just never.
He would be. He would take the risk.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
They're thinking about the whole track, and we're thinking about that corner. We're thinking about getting here first, right here, and they're not. They're thinking about getting here first.
Right.
Okay? So that's when we do not, you have to force yourself to go out here and turn around like this rather than turn around like that, okay? Right. So it is not faster to right here. It's only faster to here. And it's built into our head that we're racing to that little spot right there. I know it is in mine. And don't you think? It's slower because you've got to go to here. Now you're not looking here anymore, you're looking right there. You're looking there, you brake, you turn here, and you go by this corner, okay? And we all are racing to here.
Right.
But then we're awful slow right here.
Yeah, especially if you're kind of drifting out and it gets a little bit muddy.
And then you're coming out here.
Yeah.
It's a matter of discipline. More discipline.
Get Hawkins, get Dale to help us.
Who?
Dale, Randy's partner, was telling us we had in this test yesterday, we were coming up and it was going into a right-hander, and I was cutting to the left, coming up this thing, trying to set up for the right-hander, and he was waving us over to the right, and so I slowed down, got over to the right because I thought there was like a course change or something. I got over to the right, completely missed the next turn, was up in the hills, and Randy did the same thing. I was thinking, God damn, that just cost me 5 seconds. Oh, that's tags around.
Did you hurt him?
No, Randy tried yelling at him. Dale said, if you're stupid enough to listen to me, then you're stupid enough to listen to me.
You did it too?
Yeah. You know, which he was right in what he was doing, but we done got up
He needed
so
to be
far.
about a mile farther back.
I mean, you done come out and you're up here, and when you seen him,
And then you have to just...
yeah, if he would have been got back and before you
Where
got
was
out
this
here,
at?
it would have been faster.
It was right back
up
over
here,
there.
going around this stump tree. When you swung out, if you'd have stayed low, you could have swept the corner. I was up here thinking that I was high enough to make the corner, which I wasn't high
Right
enough.
up
I was
there.
letting rock hammer
We were
straight
cutting to the
into
inside and it came into a right-hander.
Here,
Dale was
it
right
come
before the
He was right
apex
here.
and he pulled us
doing
over
this.
there, took us out of the line.
But
and
he
missed
was
the
at this
corner.
point. If he had been at the other point, he would have been right.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
did the
guys
same thing.
watch? Like you say, Randy's class goes out. Can you watch them?
Sometimes you can.
You
Like
don't
in
have-
Oklahoma, you can. If you can, I guarantee everybody watches as much as they can to try to get a lay of the land and see how the tracks change. But you don't get a whole lot of time.
But
Most of the time,
you got to be ready to
you
go.
just funnel in
Oh,
and
you
it's
may
just.
have 4 guys in front of him. You're just waiting. And the track is so big, they go out of sight. I mean,
Right.
4 corners. Like if we was waiting to take off here, how far would you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Getting good at pre-running it has to be a
Yeah, and I think keeping your head up. I think you need to just come out of this and you just be scanning.
Well,
immediately.
big problem for motocrossers too. They come. You see guys come in the corner and the guy falls in front. They run him over.
Right.
Should never happen. Because first of all, coming into this corner, I mean, I might even check out this other area over here. What's going on there? Is there a big cliff?
Right.
But immediately you always should be looking down. If you're looking down, then you're already looking up. I mean, you're not on the gas and then getting traction and then decide, yeah, where am I going?
Right.
No, you're already looking up and you're going, hey. I said look to the next obstacle. That next, if I come out of this corner, next obstacle is that next corner. I still looked at everything here. I didn't just stare at it. You know, if I saw a big rock, I might notice, hey, there's a big rock, there's the ditch. If I come down that other straightaway, next obstacle before that ditch is that ditch. But once I've seen, well, it's no big deal. I'm looking at the corner again, because if I stare at that ditch, somebody said they hit that ditch and they're in the air. If I'm staring at that ditch and I'm in the air, I'm kind of going by what I should have been looking at. So I should be figuring that ditch out, looking at the corner, and then I'm really worried about where I'm starting to brake for the corner, not that ditch. So as soon as you come out of here, man, what's up there?
Yeah.
And if this was virgin, you see that berm, I'm going for that tree.
Yeah, I think that's important to pick braking points or a point. I don't think I do that. I think I always go past where I should be braking. And then I'm off out over there and fight to get back over here the first time.
First
So
time, I don't know how to.
You need to almost like try to pick a point. It's tough with the rhythm, stakes, and trees, and where are you gonna do that?
To do it right, you have to pick a spot. I don't know that I'd pick the right spot, but if I was coming out of here and never ridden here before and there was no track, and I'd go for that tree.
Right.
Because I gotta have something to go for. I'm not gonna, I'll go for the outside ribbon. No, I'm going for the tree. When I get there, if it's wrong, but I have to have something. Same where I'd go for this tree or real close if I was coming down on the first time.
Let's kind of briskly walk through the rest of the section and make a couple little stops. And we're going to do some ride theories. And what we'll do is everybody suit up, ride through this one section. We're going to break the tape so you make a loop, come back to Bob after every pass. If you got some questions or Bob's got some suggestions, we'll give them to you. About 5 to 1, we got to start heading over to the lunch. We got about a half hour, 34 minutes.
The line, but I'd move over. I don't know if it's fastest anymore. It used to be. That's why everybody was going in here.
Maybe slow up a little bit here and get off the line on the inside until you build up a nice little groove.
If we were going that way and when I hit in that berm, I'd kind of go like this and I'd just try to get on the inside. Sit there. If I went through there, I'd stand up because I did it sometimes and I just sit there. That's a typical example. See, we usually ride in bumps like this big all the time. So when you come out, and there might be like a 180 corner, and then you'll be right in there. That's what I said about immediately getting back up and getting up off the bike. Because the bike will work fine through there if you are standing up. If you're sitting down, it's not.
How would you get out without risking it?
I would do it like this. I wouldn't turn out, I'd kind of bump it out. When I'm right here, like this little bump right here, I'm going to kind of wheelie over like this. I'm not going to just come out of it, I'm not just going to turn like this. See, slide. I'm going to kind of use one of these little bumps, maybe like this last one here. Come in here, and if I hit that, just kind of up, just wheelie over, shut off, and then back on again. Not just turn all of it. You see, I mean, you've done it before. You just turned out and just fell. You know, if I let it go to, if I didn't see it soon enough, and I let it go to there, I'd stay in. I'd either start to get out over there or stay in. Because if you go, I'm right in that rut, and start to turn out right here, good chance of crashing.
So if you come around, you see it, you stand up, you just wheelie it.
Right.
But I mean, if you had to stay in it, if you come around to there, you just like wheelie it, standing up, and just pin it.
I did a couple times, and then I did exactly what I told you about wheeling over here and getting in here.
And there's that one track on it.
Now the wasn't that slippery, I would try to get back. I would try to get back over farther this way. Right there. So the next time, when you go up on the outside of that straightaway, try to get over next to here and go almost to the tree before you brake so you stop at the same length as the tree. Right parallel with the tree, right? And then slow it down. Then turn and come down here and then try to get it where you go a bit faster. Just see if it works. See if it works. It's getting so slippery now that it's terrible. Try that, everybody try that the next time. So, yeah, right, on that one, so this is so slippery through here, so you're not really turning from there all the way over there. Yeah. Go down the left side of the track, brake right to the trees, here. Yeah. Way out there. Here, if you were indeed over here, I know how to look at it, so pretty slippery. Yeah. Well, I went in just like, I was walking right there, I said, oh, these guys did it. Okay, but this will be good too. See right where it's and then come right down there, and then when you get it straight here, you can make one straight shot through all this. So it's worth it to lose time, especially with a rating. I think you might pull up a little bit, Bob. Yeah. Everybody's trying to throw it away. And then I just started drifting as I got on the gas here earlier. So you have to make the corner stick. You have to do your braking, like coming down to that tree. All the way out here and then turn back in there so somebody wasted all his time. to stay out there until right here, until you get coming up here and you see that it's going to be a straightaway for you, and then turn in. But you got to go like this at that tree. Go by the tree, you're braking right here, turn and then go by the tree like this. Don't go like this. Okay, go by it and then turn back. If you're really going to square it, square it. Really square it. And then you could be out in that beat to brake.
The thing is, right now, that line's good because
Can you hold it over tight into that? Go by. Don't turn quite yet. Now see, it's caution time down there, but you make more than double it over here. And that's what if you do go all that trouble to waste the time down there and come over here, don't turn in too early here. Okay, if here's the corner, and here's the next corner, you don't want to turn in here and have to come back out. You want to wait till you can too early like this. You're going to hit it. Stayed out longer period of time than him, which is better. Turn to late turn in, late apex. Instead of apex in here, you want to apex over here. See? You want to turn in here. Not turn in here. There you go. Way wide. If that's a cement wall, we really need cement walls. Because you can't. Now.